All right, so today we're talking tinctures. So you probably are familiar with the word. If you are integrated in any capacity with plant medicine or holistic medicine, it's probably a word you see floating around. But you probably are a little maybe intimidated by what a tincture is, how it looks, and comes in this real funky looking bottle. And they're usually alcohol-based. They don't have to be alcohol-based, depending on your personal preference, religion, whatever. You may be interested in tinctures that are not alcohol-based, that have glycerin as the base, or honey, or vinegar, and that's perfectly fine. I do think alcohol has the highest level of absorbency and effectiveness as far as entering the bloodstream. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. You'll also see me press my own tincture. And this is one that I've made. It's a blend. It has motherwort, mugwort, and a bunch of other really great herbs that are great for PMS symptoms and everything that will benefit a person with a womb. Okay, so the first thing that I really have my notes here. The first thing I really enjoy about tinctures over other ways to ingest plant medicine is that it is super effective really quickly. It's no preparation time at all. And so when you make a cup of tea, a real cup of tea, not the ones that you buy in the store and you steep for 5 minutes, that's not really real tea. That's like commercial westernized tea. But like if you have loose herbs and you boil your tea and you boil it for a pretty long time and you strain your tea, that takes a long time. It's almost like ritualistic. Whereas a tincture is not. Tincture is usually, you wake up in the morning, have your little 4 ounces of water, you take it, you drop it, you drink it down kind of like a shot and you're good to go. And I love the flexibility of that, right? If you're running late, you can still ingest your medicine the same way you would pop a vitamin or something like that. And you still get everything you need and you're good to go. And so that's pretty much the major benefit of tinctures. Other benefits, okay, so usually shelf life of dried herbs is 1 to 2 years. When you're at the herbal store, you don't know how long they have the herbs there, right? It could be day 364 and you're buying that herb and you just have to hope that the living medicine inside the plant can last you another year. Most of the times it does if it's airtight, but to skip all of that, whenever you have tinctures, the plant medicine there and the potency of it can last up to 5 years, right? It doesn't always last 5 years, but it's a way higher time, longer margin of time for you to kind of get what you need and get the bang for your buck. In addition to that, it's just a really great way to utilize the quantity. And so, for example, the amount of herbs that are in here could probably make maybe 10 cups of tea, maybe. I'm really estimating there, but what I'm getting here, as far as plant medicine is concerned, the amount of extraction I'm getting over maybe 6 or 7 bottles of tincture, which is way over, that's hundreds of cups of teas, okay? It's brilliant. And it's ideally when you take the amount of tincture you're supposed to, it's usually a dropper to 2 droppers, you're getting just about a cup worth of strong infused tea. And so without all the work, without all the hassle, you're getting the plant medicine that you need to get, and it's not as intimidating as having to prepare and have buy a steeper and do all of those things. So what you're gonna see now is me extract my plant medicine, but on a budget. So a lot of herbalists and corporations have really big, expensive machines that separate their plant material from their tincture. And I am a small business owner, so I don't have all of that. I'm going to be using a basic French press. It was $12. It works pretty great. And that's pretty much it. So, and I have my empty bottles here, purchased from a really great company. Not getting a shout out until I get that partnership, okay? So this one is called Mother Knows Best. Again, really great for periods and such. It's in an airtight container. And you'll see me prepare a tincture in another video. But so ideally, whenever you're making your tincture, you want it in an airtight bottle, right? Because that's how it's going to really get in there. You want to put it in the dark so it's not ruined by anything. Yeah, and I'll get more into that in another video about how to make the tincture, but you'll see how I press it out. And so I'm just pouring it directly in here, the same way you would make coffee using a French press. I hate spilling or splashing tincture. I don't know why I did it like that, because you're wasting good medicine. Anyway, so basically I'm putting it in there again, just how you would use a French press. So I'm just gonna show you how it works if you've never used a French press before. So there's a couple of filters in here. There's a net and there's another filter in there. And so you can do that. There's other, depending on what it is. So for example, if I have turmeric or powder in my tincture for any reason, I'd probably like add a cheesecloth, just wrapping it around and pressing down, just so I can really remove any grains. These products are super holistic, super organic, super natural, so the average person is not gonna mind if there's one little leaf floating in there. Ideally, there is none, but as a disclaimer. So I'm just pressing it down. Trying to see if I can zoom. Can I zoom? I can't even zoom. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it close. Ideally, I am lowering, and you can see this is really satisfying to watch. Okay, it's a little hard to do with full force. I'm just gonna put this back down. So I'm pressing down all the plant material all the way down. And here then I just, so you have this beautiful separation. There's no plant material up here. It's really good about getting all the plant material down there. And so at that point, I just pour it in the bottle. I don't need to use a funnel, so to speak. I have generally steady hands, but also I just don't have a funnel small enough accessible at the moment. So that's that. Pretty much I'm just pouring them in the bottles. I said I have a steady hand and then I spill it. And yeah, I'm just filling my bottles up, and these are airtight bottles as well, so they're just getting sealed. And that's pretty much how you do that. And that's too much in that bottle, so let's not spill anything. All right, and so usually when I pour my 1 ounce bottle, it's at this point. Shout outs to chemistry. I make sure the meniscus is sitting right at the edge of that curve, and that's how I know I've got my ounce. And we're good to go. Usually tinctures are made again with alcohol. You can make it with any kind of alcohol, but again, it's best for it to be vodka and with a high alcohol level and or proof, because it absorbs more and it's also more effective. You can use rum, you can use bourbon, you can use all those things, but it tends to get a little tricky there because of the flavoring and the integrity of the plant medicine. But again, it just depends on whatever you're used to. And whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever is culturally acceptable for you. If you decide to use glycerin or something like that, extraction is going to take a little bit longer. You might want to be a little bit more diligent about how you store it, and you also have to consider that the absorption is not going to be the same, because alcohol enters the bloodstream like that. Just like that shot of tequila that you take at the bar hits you like that, so do these tinctures. And then I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, yes. Okay, so it's alcohol based, and people have this big question of, oh, is it safe to take if I'm pregnant? Is it safe to take? Can my kids take it? And so what you do with yourself and your kids is your business and your prerogative. However, a dropper of tincture has the same amount of alcohol, not alcohol content, but potency as eating a very ripe banana. So if your children are eating ripe bananas, generally it is just as safe for them to take the tincture if the herbs in it are children safe or pregnancy safe or whatever. So whatever tinctures you take, make sure that you do your own research on the herb, or make sure you talk to your herbalist or your primary care physician about the herbs that you're taking and that they're safe. And if they are, then please go ahead and take them. I'm gonna go ahead and finish pressing and pouring these. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.